So if we use parse in and taking 11, this is the binary format. Now to convert binary to, for example, if I have the binary version of 11, I use calculator here. Convert to hexadecimal. But this one is asking for base 16, right? So if I do hexadecimal, this means I convert in, it should be like decimals, which is 3, because 11 is 3. But if I say 11 actually is the base 16, this is base 16, this is not binary number. This one is base 16. So that means I go to base 16, hex, and I type 11. And I want to know what is the value in base 10. That should be 17. So that's why when I run this, I said this 11 is base 16. When I do parse it, it's returned 17 back in base 10. So you convert the values base 16 to base 10. Now, if I want you to, actually I said this is base 10. I have to use .toString to take the integers values. I want base 10 to convert to base 16. I want it to display in base 16. That's what it means. If I don't have that, it's going to display in, just convert integer to string in base 10. If I want it to display in base 2, for example, I have to do 2. Let's say base 10, if we say base 10 is 11, base 2 should be 1011. So if I run this, it should convert it to 1011. But if I do say, hey, I want to see base 16 of 11, and we say 11 is base 10, base 16 of 11 should be a letter B. So because that is the numeric representation of base 16, which is a letter B. Okay. So that's how we use parse in and toString. Let's come back to the slide that what we're talking about here. We have the overloaded parse to use, which is the radix based, number based. Now we have the automated conversion between primitive types and wrapper class types. So starting from JDK 1.5, we are currently on 1.7. 1.8 actually, we are currently on 1.8. That's supporting JavaFX. Now starting from 1.5, primitive types and wrapper classes to be converted automatically. For example, the following statements. Let's look at, if I do an array of integers and I start to give, these are the wrapper class, right? Integer like that. So we have 2, 4, and 3. It should be equivalent to, these are primitive type 2, 4, and 3. Because it's what we call this technique, we call boxing. Boxing, that means it's automatically convert, right, from primitive type to a wrapper class type for you. And also, when we want to print it out, we can just say in array at each index. So since this is the integer wrapper class type, it's going to do unboxing, mean it's automatically convert back from wrapper class type to primitive type and display values for you. So this technique called boxing and unboxing, auto convert. Right, boxing means convert from primitive type to wrapper class type. Unboxing means convert from wrapper class type to primitive type. And they are done automatically. Now we have big integers and big decimal classes. So we need to use this when we want to compute a large integers or high precision floating point values with a big decimal. And it's very commonly used in the application that for financial, like banking system. Because primitive type, there's a limit, max values and min value we just look at. And if you want to represent the data that's so big, like numerical value of money can be the debt of or the income of the country, that's going to be a huge amount of digits. So we have to deal with big decimal or big integers here, big decimal including floating point numbers. And they're all located in java.math package. If you need to use them, you have to import them. And both are immutable. Once created, you cannot change the contents. Extends the number class and implement the comparable interface. Both of them inherit from number, and we talk about number, and implement the comparable. So what's that? When you implement a comparable, that allow you to compare like numbers, two different big decimal numbers or two different big integers. And comparable interface gonna give you compareTo methods. That if it's less than, it gives you negative. If it's equal, it gives you 0. If it's greater than, it returns positive. And they also have the methods like multiplying. You can multiply the big integers. You can divide. And the big decimals. You can do big decimal round up. String class. Constructing a string. We have string message. New string. You can do, these are the methods, right? Concatenations, concat. You can look at substring starting from index, start and end substrings. You can compare with equals and compareTo. You can find characters in a substring and a string. Conversion between string and arrays. You can convert string to arrays. Converting characters and numeric values to strings. And strings are immutable. Once created, you cannot change. Its content cannot be changed. Like for example, string s equals to Java. And we said s equals to HTML. So the question is, does the following code change the contents of the string? So we explained that it doesn't change the content of the string. So let's look at this. So we said s equal to HTML, and we declared string s equal to Java. We said contents cannot be changed because we only change a reference to the new string, which is pointing to HTML. The contents of Java still unchanged. It's just not referring to it instead. Interned strings. Since strings are immutable and are frequently used to improve efficiency and save memory, the JVM uses a Unix instance for string literals with the same character sequence, such as instance is called interned. Such an instance is called interned. So let's look at example. Like string is a class. You can actually define by using string, new string. Right. A new object is created if you use the new operator. This talk about S2, right? If you use the string initializers, no new object is created of the interned object is already created. So we said the highlighted, those are interned object, right? We don't have to call new string, right? Like I said here. String are immutable and are frequently used to improve efficiencies. Use a unique instance for string literals with the same character sequence. Such an instance is called interned. So S1 is equals to welcome to Java. S2 equals to new string welcome to Java. Let's create a new one. Right. And S3, like we want to save in the memory, right? Let's say here, uses a unique instance for string literals with the same character sequence. So we start to use that. S3 just interned it, right, for efficiencies instead of keep creating a new object. Now let's look at when we do 2 equals to compare. Even it's the same statement, S1 equals to S2 or S2. It's going to be false. So this should be S2, right? Because they're not equals. They're referring to different object. But S1 equals to S3, this is going to be true because it's referring to the same object. If you use the string initializer, like that, string initializers, no new object will be created when you have the same thing because we use the interned object. So this is tracing the code. Once you create S3, S1, so we'll look at that. We can skip. So string, you can use the method replace first, replace all, and split. Replace pretty much just replace the old characters with the new characters in the string. Replace first, replace the first matching substring. Right, this is substring. This is replace the characters, the whole substring, the first matching with a new substring. Replace all. That means replace all matching substring, not just the first, but all of them that's matching into a new substring with a new substring. Split. Split returns an array of string consisting of the substrings split by the delimiters. So we provide the delimiters. It can split that into an array of strings. Let's look at examples. Replace E with a caps A. So welcome is going to look like that now. All the E replaced with caps A. Replace first. First means wherever we see first E, we replace it, but we not replace the whole. Replace with a, this is overloaded, right? Replaced. If we pass in characters, it's just replace characters. If we pass in string, it's replace the substring. With all of them, replace all. Now let's look at splitting. For example, we have the word Java and then hashtag HTML and hashtag Pro. We want to split it where the hashtag being found. So when we split, it's going to return an array which is group of this.